Now, DICE did an amazing job on Battlefront 2. I mean, look at it right now. People are willing to buy Kusa just to keep playing the game that's supposedly already been dead. And to be fair, it is quote-unquote dead because it doesn't have any updates, but it still has a lot of players, at least on PlayStation. But DICE did a good job. But when it came to fixing things, I don't think they did the best job. Now, obviously, overall, the game is fairly well done. Like, at the state that it is now, which is its last state, it's well done. But it could have been easily better. For example, I'm going to refer to Anakin because everybody knows about this. Whether you're an old player, you know how glitchy Anakin was, or whether you're a new player, you've heard about the legends of the old Anakin. So, when Anakin was super broken, we all tweeted at them on Twitter, and we're like, oh, he's too OP, blah 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 blah, and they're like, okay, bet, we're gonna do something about it. They did, but they didn't do it well. Here, how am I gonna explain this? Basically, DICE, it feels to me like DICE sees us as crying babies. Basically, when Anakin came out, it's like we were like, wah wah wah, Anakin isn't working properly, wah wah wah, he's too OP. And I feel like they were like, you know what, we'll just take all the candies away from you. And candies being like the damage output and the blah blah blah, the passion strike, the attraction, the radius. Like, they heard us talking about how Anakin was too OP, and they were like, bet, we'll fix things. But they fixed the wrong things. You don't pay attention. They just hear a couple words, fix Anakin, he's too OP, he's broken, and they're like, oh yeah, let's do something about it. And they did. Heroic Might got nerfed to heck, which I don't fully agree with, but technically, let's not go too far. It went too far yesterday, but technically they still fixed him. But then they just went and touched things that didn't have to do anything with him being OP. Like, he had a lot more radius on his Heroic Might than he does now. He had more range on his pull than he has now. And to give you an idea on how much that range was, when you equip the attraction card and the whatever card that controls the strength or whatever, the cards that make Anakin's radiuses bigger, that used to be his original radius, and then they brought it down, which in my opinion, I was like, well, why? It's like nobody asked. Anakin was OP, yes, but this has nothing to do with it. You're just doing it because we cried about it, and you have no absolutely any idea what to do. So you're like, I'm just gonna touch a couple buttons, do this, do that, make it look good, and then boom, tell everyone you fixed it. And then there's the other fix, the Passionate Strike fix. That one, fully understood. Basically, Passionate Strike, every time you would click it, it would knock them out. And to be fair, Anakin, all of his abilities were knockout abilities, so you would literally pull someone, Heroic Might, and then Passion Strike, so it was like ragdoll after ragdoll. That one I understand, GG's. But then they went ahead and nerfed the damage. Like, nobody wanted that. Nobody asked for that. They just went ahead and did it just because they heard us say Anakin and Passion Strike in the same sentence. So they were like, you know what, let's do this, let's do that. They didn't ask for this, let's do it anyways. Like, do they not have playtesters? Like, I know technically they do, but are they like retarded? And like, I would love to be a playtester for you guys. I have my boys Luca and Hippo. We would love to come work for you guys. We even have our own little project called the Kusa Project. If you're watching, guys, me, the boys, would love to go playtest stuff for you, because we could actually figure stuff out. And don't take this personally, DICE employee, if you're seeing this, but you're not doing a good job. Like, how come the game released with Anakin being that OP? How do you not see that coming? Like, how? Now, I know I keep talking about Anakin, but like I said in the beginning, that's just an example of the way DICE goes about fixing things. Now, you could talk about the way they did a really good job with Palpatine when he first came out. For those who don't know, Palpatine's lightning used to go through walls, so you could stand behind a wall and lightning would just go straight through. And what they did, they tried to fix it once, it still didn't work, so you would update the game and Palpatine was still broken, so they were like, you know what, let's just take him off the game. We'll work on him, and they worked on him for a very long time, which I don't know why it took so long, but they did, and then they brought him back perfectly. That was like one of the only times where DICE fixed the only thing that was broken. See, they did it well with Palpatine. I hate Palpatine, but they did it perfectly. If they continued that pattern with all the other heroes and glitches in this game, the game would have been way better. So what they did with Palpatine, they went ahead and fixed the only problem he had, and then they let him go. So they're like, okay, let's fix this. Is he good now? And he was. Obviously, I still hate Palpatine, so that's just my personal opinion on him. But he was fine. There was nothing wrong with him. With Palpatine, imagine if they fix that and then randomly they're like, you know what, we're gonna make the chain lightning do 20 less damage. Like, who the hell asked? Nobody asked. Who let this guy cook? Like, fix the damn thing and then let everyone try it, or first your playtesters, which I'm assuming probably or probably not. Doesn't really matter, it's kind of too late now. But nobody would have asked for that. That's the thing they did with Anakin. They went and fixed the problem and then just touched on everything else. Like, why would you do that? Everything was good. It's like if you were eating at a restaurant and you got your plate and the steak was undercooked, and then they take your plate and then they cook the steak, and then you have, I don't know, some sides of potatoes and a bunch of lettuces and stuff, and then the chef, instead of cooking the steak more like you wanted it, he starts touching your broccolis, your potatoes. Like, no, focus on the damn thing. If I think the other stuff has a problem, I'll tell you. Focus on one thing. Didn't do that with Anakin. They just went ahead and touched everything that was super unnecessary, and they're like, yes, he is fixed. Like, really, DICE? Come on. Like I said, if you're a DICE employee watching this, you can always contact me, Lukapook, or the Hippo. We love glitching. Well, I mean, not Hippo as much. He doesn't love glitching as much, but he does love endorsing it. And so do I, and so do Lukapook. So we, the boys, would like to offer our services for you, DICE, if you ever do want actual playtesters who can figure glitches out and fix them, instead of having people like me upload them and making your game broken. But yeah, that's just a little rant. I wish DICE could actually fix their game more properly than what it is now.